good morning. We are here for Housing Houston. I'm Sarah Lerner here with Kayla Ewald.
Good morning.
And we're here for something a little special, a little different today. We are going to just have a little bit, I'm going to call it a fireside chat.
Oh, I love the cheers. I love the fireside chat. We have our coffee. Grab yours too if you're not driving. I mean, I guess you could have coffee while you're driving.
Yeah. This is realtor life. Come on,
this is realtor life. You're in the car, but we're excited to be here.
Yes. And so the point of today, and again, we're just trying something different, is to just chat about what's going on in the market, what's going on in our industry. There's so much, I would say, clickbait out there that says this is happening, that's happening. And it's like, what is really happening? Like, what are you seeing? What am I seeing?
Yep.
And then we'll ask you guys, like, what are you seeing too? So we'd love to hear from y'all.
I think the first thing we'll start with is just what the price point is and the inventory. And I feel like the interest rates, we are not lenders, but it's always a good time to buy. We'll always say that. Things are moving a little bit quicker than they have been. I think we're still at 60 days.
I think, right under 70 days.
70 days, 6, 7. Stop. My boys would love that.
I know, right?
He wants a 6-7 birthday party.
But also that's not cool anymore if you're in middle school.
Oh, no.
So as long as it's still jiving with the kindergarten crowd.
It is. Still jiving with the 5-year-olds turning 6. But so we're still at the same like 60, 70 sitting on the market, but I feel like a lot more buyers are seeing the interest rates and not being as scared.
I also think we've gotten comfortable with it. So when I think back to, gosh, it's almost 5 years ago now. Can you believe that was like the year of the crazy?
No.
This was the first time. So I'll just tell you, this is a story. I was going through old paperwork, doing the old clean out, and I found our first loan documents that, of course, I had to keep from 2010. And in that time, we had a 4% interest rate. Okay. And so even when people, like when the crazy 2%, 2.5% interest was happening, I was like, that's good. But I didn't know, as a millennial and as someone who really wasn't connected to the market yet and not in this industry, that it would ever go above 5%. I just didn't know. And so when things clicked up, it happened really quickly. And then all of a sudden we're sitting at 8%, and it was sticker shock. Yeah. It was like, what is happening?
The people that were used to buying, or the people that were growing up and buying, were not used to the 8%, even though it's been there before.
Right.
And even they talk about, even though that's normal, and even though our parents or our grandparents, they were at 8, 10, 12, 18.
My parents' first house was 18%. In that
but they probably paid like $40,000 for it.
$85,000.
Okay.
I know this because I just
luxury.
I know. Well, it was 1985.
Okay.
Times were good.
Times were good.
So they paid $85,000, and then they sold that house years later. Mom and Dad, I hope you're okay with me sharing all this. Anyway, they sold that house, bought another house, the house that I grew up in gosh, what would have been like 97, I think is what we said. And they made money on the sale.
Okay.
They had tried to sell it before, so times were tough. And then when they ended up, they actually just closed on another house, which is one of the things I was going to talk about, was like boomers in the market. That's a whole thing right now.
Yeah.
And so when they bought this new house, their down payment was actually more than the total sales price of the house that I grew up in.
Wow.
But that's real estate, right? Like the prices, it appreciates.
But people weren't used to that.
Right.
The people that were buying,
correct,
a couple years ago were not used to that. Now I feel like
we've wrapped our minds around it.
We're not lenders, but
so interest
5.5%, 6%.
Yes, right in that range for homestead. Obviously, it's a little different for investor properties. But I think that that's a comfort spot. It's not as high as it has been in recent years, but it's still like, okay, this feels stable.
It's doable.
It's doable.
With the economy and with just the environment, atmosphere, everything going on, it's doable to get in at that rate and then refinance if it does drop back to 3%.
And it may not. And I think that's the other thing is people have decided like we can't put life on hold.
Right.
Which there's not really a lot of data points for that, but that's what I'm hearing as an agent is, oh yeah, we've been keeping an eye on this for 3, 5, 7 years, and we just decided it's time to pull the trigger.
So if they were keeping an eye on it for a couple years, were they renting? And are you now seeing a dip within rentals because they are buying?
That's a really interesting question. So I don't know the data on that, so I don't want to speculate, but I will say there are less renters out there.
Okay.
One thing that we've seen actually at RealVest is the renters moving back in with mom and dad, or moving back in with brother.
So like, the multi-generational.
Yes, people kind of, and I think that does speak to the economy. Like things feel tight and rent prices are high. And that's a hard thing that we have to navigate, is high rent prices, because even though they've dropped in the last few years, it's not like most landlords are making a lot of money right now. Like most of it's going to taxes and insurance and a mortgage. And so then there you are. So yeah, things are not cheap.
Yeah. And we were talking a little bit earlier, the average price point right now for a house in the Houston area is a little over $300,000.
Yeah, it's like $330,000 right now is the last numbers that I pulled. And that's all Houston metro, so obviously that varies tremendously by zip code, but that's pretty, we're in Pearland, and that's about where we are too. So
the data is showing that we have a lot of buyers under 200,000 and a lot of buyers above $1 million. It's that middle ground area that's kind of sitting still.
Yes. Well, there's just so much inventory in that middle ground. And so it's like, if you have a normal house, or you're looking to, because that's the other people who are moving right now, is people who are life events. So I mentioned the boomers. And so that, I think NAR released something that said that the number one buyer class is boomers. So it's people like our parents' age, born up until like 1970, and they're either downsizing, relocating to be closer to kids or family, or actually upsizing, which you wouldn't think that, but a lot of them are, because they've got kids that are either moving in with them, or they want to be able to host when 10 grandkids come for Christmas. They want the big open floor plan.
And that's what your parents, what did your parents just do? They just closed.
So yeah, they actually moved to a house that is more hospitable, I would say. So big open living area. So when we're all together, we'll all be in one room together, which is awesome. Like we're excited about that.
Oh my gosh, the boomers.
The boomers.
Boomers
and they have
buying.
Money, right? Like they're
established.
Established. That's the word I was looking for.
They're established.
What's the word?
So lead generation purposes, go after the boomers.
That's right. That's right. Think about your sphere, and then your sphere's parents, or the people who have homes to sell and maybe are interested in buying, and still have a desire to have like a really nice home. Like they could be there 20, 30 years still.
I think it's important as a real estate agent, even a loan officer, you are going through your lead generation and you're doing all the things in your business for your sphere or people your referral partners, but you also do need to take the data into consideration and form your lead gen off of that.
Yes.
Maybe have a little side list that you hit once a month for the boomers or for more people that need you.
And I know you are always really helpful with lead gen. So tell me a little bit, like, what are y'all doing these days? I know you have Ignite RE.
Ignite RE Farming, where you can just really dive into target the people that are most likely to sell. If they have had a life-changing event, filed for divorce, a lien on their property, you can find those and add that to a list to start targeting them, because they do need a real estate professional for help.
I'm going to pause there and just add, I've heard people say like, oh, that's so cringy that you would do that. And I think
they need help.
I think it's that. I think you have to approach it with good intention. Like as an agent, intention is everything, because there are people out there who are looking to take advantage. But the reality is, I think back to when I did not know a real estate agent, feels like many moons ago, but when we needed to sell, I was like, who do I call? Like, I want someone that I trust. I didn't know what I should expect. And so just having someone kind of out there ready and able to provide that information, I think is hugely beneficial.
It's hard right now as a real estate agent. We'll get into that in a little bit, but also as a homeowner. And when you have a life-changing event happen, you are so in the thick of it. You don't know who to call and what to do. And so if somebody has been farming to you, we can use other verbiage if we want, but if you're seeing somebody and you can have a conversation, or you see them in your community and they can help you get out of the situation you're in, why would they not use you?
That's who they want to reach out to.
Yeah. So, and I feel like energy is important, vibe is important. So if you are getting farmed to, call them, see how they are on the phone, make sure they're not going to take advantage of you, but they can help you get out of a sticky situation.
I know the agents on our team, like we have one, and her specialty is like senior living, and the reason she does that is because she's so passionate about making sure they do have the education and they're not being taken advantage of, because that's a class of people that you unfortunately can see people take advantage of. I think we were just talking about like fraud. Which is like womp womp. But you want to know that someone's on guard in your corner, knows what they're talking about, and can really navigate the nuances of that life change.
Yeah. And so back to it being hard to figure out who to use. You know, being a real estate agent right now is hard as well.
It's hard.
What are the...
NAR said, 70% of agents did not sell any homes last year. 70%. And 90% sold less than 5, which you really can't make a living on that. So like that, I mean, and listen, like, of course we know there's lots of people who are licensed for different reasons, but we're not talking about 10% didn't make a sale. We're talking about 70%.
Like, this is their livelihood. This is what they do 24. 70% are not part-timers.
Right.
That is not like I'm, teaching from
I'm gonna go
8 to 3 and then sell a house.
Like it. Yeah.
70%, that's full-time
Yes.
realtors not getting a sell.
Yes.
That's tough.
It is tough. I think it's been a tough season, but I also think the people who have made it this far are here to stay. Like, if you got into the real estate market in like 21, 22, you've now had at least one license renewal, which is a lot of CE. And so like you're vested, you're in it, you're not going anywhere. And so I hope that it's encouraging to those people who are, trying to get their business and get some momentum, that they start to see that things are shifting for the good, for good. Things are moving. Like we said, days on market is down. Yeah. So that's encouraging. And it's still early. Like, spring is just now springing.
And we're seeing it. We're seeing the moves.
But you know what's crazy is that there actually is stuff that's moving really quickly.
Absolutely.
And I know of a couple agents that were telling me they had multiple offers just this last weekend. Yes, it can happen.
Wow. Okay. But that's probably on houses that are ready to sell.
Yes.
I feel like that's the difference.
Yes.
When you have a house that needs work, that needs paint, that foundation is off, if you have some, even the tiny repairs, like the doors or the handles or the cabinets, like, fix it.
Well, I think what people miss is the lack of creativity that buyers have. Like, they are not creative. And we give them so much credit. Like, oh, we'll give a carpet allowance. Oh, we can paint that.
They're going to visualize walking in and seeing their,
I want them to be able to do what they want to do. But, like, they're just not creative
They don't
people.
want to.
Hello, have we seen why ChatGPT is, like, used 1 million times every day?
Thank you.
Because we ain't got no creativity.
Actually, I do need to use ChatGPT in my own house.
Same, girl. I have. And I'm like, oh, dang, I got work to do.
I know. You take the picture and you're like, what would you do with this space?
It's like, not what you did.
Okay, well, I have none of that, so let me go out to the store and buy it. Right. But yes, that's exactly right. Yes. Multiple offers happening on houses that are ready to sell.
And I think most agents would agree. I'm not trying to speak on behalf. This is my opinion. I feel like as I'm showing buyers, they want the feeling. They want it to walk in and feel like home. So that means staged, smelling good, no obvious things, and that's another thing, because in rentals we show all of our houses vacant, right? And so you walk in and it's an empty room. What does your eye go to? Automatically any defect in the room. I mean, just, oh, that light switch is broken. Oh, there's a crack in the whatever. And so just the time and the money that you take to remedy those little things.
Little things.
Little things.
Like, I'm talking, we've had closings not happen because of $10 plugs. Like, you know, the little replacement.
I keep those in
what
my
are those
car.
called? Yes.
Because
they did not repair. They did not replace.
Like, let me
and
just
they're like,
screw
we're
that
not
bad
closing.
boy in. I got it.
What? Let's not
be great.
change them. Even as the real estate agent, change them. You'll get it back whenever it closes.
It's an easy fix. Yes.
What are some other things? So you said smell. Yes. And this is like a tedious question, but do you like candles? Or do you plug in like Glade and air fresheners and Pura?
Yes.
Pura, I think is the...
I'm a fan of the plug-in.
Okay.
Gosh, everybody has an opinion. I think you want neutral, but cozy too.
Like linen scent?
Think of like how hotels smell. You know, you walk in and you're like, oh, I feel fancy. Like those are the kind of scents that I gravitate to.
Okay.
Because it does. You don't want to kill anybody with grandma's perfume, but
literally what is happening in my car right now, I bought Scentsy. Love Scentsy. And you can, it's like this air purifier that you put in your cup holder. And I bought 2 of like, it's like Snickerdoodle or something that smells so good. But whenever it's in my car,
I can't do food smells.
That powering, I thought I was walking into like a restaurant serving, and I'm like, no, it did not smell good.
I say veer away from food smells.
I need linen. I need clean.
Give me Hawaiian
fresh,
breeze, like
leather.
Yes, even that.
Yeah, my husband's like, oh, we need to take that out of the car because he drives it too, and I'm like, sorry. Okay,
thought I was
so you like the plugins.
I do. Okay. I mean, I know. Come at me for the toxicity, but
no,
it's just.
I'm trying to think of other things that the realtors can do to make it turnkey ready that doesn't cost.
The other thing, like make sure the front porch looks good because as we're sitting there fiddling with a Supra,
they're looking.
They're just standing there looking at the wasp nest and the overgrown bush and the doormat that says Elcom because the W's went off. Like,
you said Elcom.
Elcom to your new home. I mean, just it's the little things like that.
That obviously that mat will not be there whenever they move in because they're gonna toss it or throw it or be the feeling.
I mean, okay. Yeah, and I always think like when you walk into a model home for a new construction, like what are the things that you're like, I cannot go into a model home without being like, I'm ready to move. Yes. This is my new home.
The lighting, and the windows, the whole vibe.
It's the vibe. Mm-hmm. And so how do you recreate that vibe in a home that's 30 years old?
Yeah.
You know, you can do it. It takes some work, but it's so worth it.
Now, for the major issues like the AC
the
roof,
the
foundation, allowance or something is good.
Yes.
You don't want to go in and replace that all the time. You can.
That's right.
But
I fall into that camp.
Yeah.
Now, listen, like if you're going to, not sure when you're going to sell it. I've had people reach out. They're like, we're probably going to sell in the next year or so. Should I go ahead and do the roof? Like, well, if it's actively leaking, you probably should, but
let's not cause other major issues.
Let's not. But if it's, got a year 3 left in it, like that's a great negotiation point.
Okay.
A lot of times insurance will come in and cover it. And so that's another negotiation strategy.
Okay. And I would recommend, just my opinion, to team up with an insurance agent that will call the roofing company and get it all squared away under your insurance without you doing a thing. You don't have to make a call.
Because they do that every day. And so they understand what's covered, what's not, what your deductible is, is it worth it? Because I don't know, like we have a 3% deductible right now, and that is basically like we're self-insuring the roof. Okay. I mean, we could maybe get $1,000 from a insurance company. So it's like talk to my agent first to be like, is this worth making the claim? Because once you have claim history, that affects your premium. Mm-hmm. So it's all a game.
Yeah,
it's a numbers game.
Yeah. So turnkey ready, that's what we're hearing.
Yes.
Mid 300s is about the average. We're seeing it move pretty quickly over the last couple weeks.
Buyers are out there.
Buyers are
out there looking.
Yep. Coming on spring season.
Yes.
What else?
I think if I was getting ready to sell, I would probably not hesitate to go ahead and start that process now.
Because of the 60 days.
Yes, the 60 days, your people who are relocating to this area, which I don't have those numbers handy, I should have pulled them, but there's lots of people moving to Houston every day. And so those people, a lot of them already know that they're coming this summer.
So they're going to start visiting.
Starting to look, but they want kids to finish the school year. They want, to sell their house first, but they're looking. And so you don't want to miss eyes that maybe would be looking in your area just because, whatever. Historically, the best month to sell is July here. Okay. But that doesn't mean that now's a bad time to get it out there, kind of make really that good. Or be doing the prep that we talked about. Like go ahead and paint, go ahead and do those honeydew projects.
Yeah, little at a time, so you're not stressed. It's already a stressful process.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, whether you're a buyer, a seller, a real estate agent, title company, a property manager, it's a lot of stress.
I feel bad because so many people that I'll help close, they're like, I'm never doing this again. I'm like, I'm sorry. And I also,
just a lot of parties.
I get a lot of offers to help pack houses. I get a lot of offers to come help pack.
Wow.
I do not.
I do not.
They do not want my help with that.
They do not want my help. I always recommend hiring a mover.
Yeah.
Do not take that stress off of you, no matter how much it is.
Yes, or do a little at a time.
A little at a time.
If you know you're moving, that's another really good point.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to use the decorative china in the china cabinet. Let's pack that up.
That you haven't used for 20 years.
Correct.
Pack it up.
Probably okay to go ahead and pack up Christmas decorate. There are things that you can live without.
Yes.
When you have no momentum, I'm like, just start with the stuff on the walls. Yeah. Take all your pictures off. That gives you some good momentum to get going and kind of start neutralizing your space.
To where you're not running around like an emergency is happening, getting your house packed up. That's really good advice.
Yeah. Sometimes we have it.
Sometimes we have it.
Oh, but people are crazy too. So yeah, I mean, it is not a bad time to be selling, but I'll tell you what, it's still a buyer's market at the end of the day here.
They can get a deal.
You can get a deal. You really can, especially if you are one of those people who can be a little creative.
Yeah.
If you will implore the power of ChatGPT to your benefit.
Negotiation skills.
Yes. I mean, walk in and learn to see the potential in a room. You can get a deal because most people can't.
Yes.
And so if you're one of those people, and that's where our investors are making money, right? We always say the best investment is not in the selling, it's in the buying. So if you're buying at a discount and you can add value,
you can see the vision of where it can be, and then.
So if I, as an investor, was going to buy something today, I'd go look for something that needed cosmetic work.
Okay.
That was in a good area, desirable area, that I knew I could rent out. And I would probably just get it updated habitably.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is it's clean, it's good, but maybe the kitchen still looks like 1995.
Okay.
But that's okay. I'm going to rent it out. I'm going to take the cash that I'm earning and pay off obviously the loan. But I'm also going to be planning ahead for a remodel.
Okay.
And so then before the next tenant, I'm going to maybe redo the kitchen. And now I can rent it for a higher value.
So good.
And then the next time it's vacant, I'm going to maybe go do the bathroom. And
so it's a long game.
You can kind of do the long game. I think so often investors get in their mind that I have to get in and I have to instantly add value. And so yes, I'm taking, $75,000 to close on this property and I need another $50,000 to go rehab it, and who has that much cash? It's not you can.
And if you do have that much cash, you need to stash it away right now in this economy. So long game.
Is what I've heard.
What is it? The Bitcoin and all that you might be making millions in the next.
I give up on that. I know real estate.
I don't have it, but
I don't have it.
Probably should buy some. That's fine.
So I think if you're taking smaller chunks, that is a more attainable way to be investing right now.
That's good.
Because the reality is the house with the updated kitchen isn't leasing for that much more than the house, the area, location, right? We've always heard that in real estate, and that's still the driver of where people want to live.
Okay, so how do you go about finding these gems?
That's a great question. I mean, a lot of them are on the market.
Okay.
Obviously, you can look on
Hidden
HAR.
gems,
Hidden
gems
They're
that
hidden in
don't
plain
look
sight.
like gems yet.
I mean, you can filter out days on market by 90 plus days.
Okay.
And that's a great way to see what's sitting.
Okay.
And then the flip side of that is sometimes you get a seller, and we're seeing this more too, where they're not in a position to sell like for less, like especially if they did buy in the last 5 years and they put maybe 3% down, they've got closing costs that they're going to have to cover. They may not be as negotiable, but the deals are out there. The other thing is like wholesalers are out there. There's people who literally like that's their livelihood is they're going out and door knocking and putting the We Buy Ugly House signs and kind of doing the legwork so that as an end buyer, you can connect with them and find some good deals too.
Great nuggets.
Yeah, I think so.
I like that.
I like that.
Very good. Work on your negotiation skills.
Yes.
And I think you can use the tools and data that's presented to you. And one of the things that we offer, I don't know if I've talked about this yet, is Altos.
Oh, yeah.
It's market updates, data. Yes. It tells you what kind of market we're in, buyers, sellers, neutral, gives you median days on markets, average sales price. It gives you all the data you need for your talking points when you're dealing with your consumer or other real estate agents that you're trying to negotiate with.
Absolutely.
So if you don't have Altos, let me know and we can get it for you.
And it's free, right?
We do offer it complimentary.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think it's usually $80 a month. So if you don't go through us, yes, $80 a month to get these market updates.
Call Kayla.
I don't think we can do that.
Oh, just kidding.
I don't think we can call to action.
These are Kayla's opinions. And
Kayla's opinion.
Should call her if you want to.
But negotiation skills matter. And I think that's going to set you apart from the 70% that only closed, what'd you say?
0.
The 70% was 0?
Yes.
And then how many were 5 and under?
90.
Okay. If and when you learn how to negotiate, you will not be in that percentage. Right. Work on your skill set for 2026.
That's right. And the tools are out there. I mean, there's so many tools available to us as realtors, as people in the real estate market, industry. And I love the idea too of like collaboration. There's so many agents that are willing to, I mean, like I know when I've got a listing, if a buyer agent is calling me and saying like, I don't understand why you listed it for this. I'm like, I'm so glad you called. Like, let's have this conversation. Here's what I'm looking at. And I'll do the same thing on a buy side. It's like, this is why I'm seeing it worth this, but you've got it listed here. Like, let's have the dialogue.
And we've had roundtables where
absolutely.
We're like, hey, I'm listing this. Look at it. Look at the pictures.
Yes.
Tell me your feedback. Tell me your thoughts before I go and list it at this. And I think that shows that you know you're down to earth. You don't know it all. We don't have all the answers. We can rely and collaborate with other real estate professionals to be that representation for our seller.
Because in reality, I'm probably thinking I would love to work with one of the people that I'm roundtabling with.
True.
So I'm like, this is what I got. What, do you got a buyer that
you got a buyer, and what would you list it at?
What would they buy this for?
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's hard. There's a lot of, I think in our industry too, nuanced properties. So like obviously we have the suburban subdivision lots that you can pull comps on that all day long. But I mean, then you've got, 2 acres with 4 houses on it. Like how do you comp that out?
Yeah.
You've got a lot that has a house on it, but now that's zoned commercial and, TxDOT is coming through and widening the road and it's going to have frontage access to this new upcoming thoroughfare. How do you capture that value with it having a house on it today? You know, so there are a lot of things that I think spitballing with people who've been doing this a lot longer than I have is super valuable.
And on another note, I think leveraging AI. I understand that there are fears behind AI taking over real estate professionals or anybody in the next 5 years, but for now, I think you can leverage AI and put all of that in and see what it comes up with.
Yeah, that's a great point.
And or even just how to negotiate the situation you're going through. Put it in ChatGPT or any AI, your listing presentation, you can have these thoughts and ideas, and it could kind of make it a little bit more professional for you.
Yeah. I mean, on the property management side, we're using tech like we've never used it before. With repairs, we can have AI respond with like after hours, like, hey, because obviously, like, most people are gonna have something come up in those evening hours when they're home, right? And so, like, hey, my garbage disposal isn't working. Well, here's an automatic response that feels, that says, like, here's a video. Did you try XYZ? I mean, we're preventing a lot of maintenance requests, which saves our owner money
by just providing them the education.
It's timely. They're willing to problem solve it because, like, I need my garbage disposal right now, and so they try it. Oh, it works. Or, hey, the slide isn't working. Well, did you try the reset button? Did you try these things where used to we would have to send a person out to take a look and go, oh yeah, you need to tighten this or screw that or whatever. If it's really simple, like, let's all save time and money and have the resident resolve that themselves. I mean, that's huge. And it's really changing the industry because what used to require so many people to manage a certain portfolio size, like, you can manage many more doors than you could historically just because of all the technology available.
Agreed.
It's really interesting.
It's still your own thoughts and ideas, but it just gives a better presentation of it.
You're telling it what to do.
Absolutely.
Kind of.
Like, here's what I need from a title company standpoint, put it into a PowerPoint, and then it creates a PowerPoint.
Wild.
And I'm like, what is happening? And then I'm like, brand it with my company, and it puts the colors and the logo, and I'm like, why would you not leverage it?
Why would you not?
Yeah.
Because now I can be on the phone or, actually doing value-adding activities.
Building the relationship.
Instead of the admin work.
Because at the end of the day, the relationship is what gets the deal.
Absolutely.
To begin with.
Yeah, I think we spend so much time doing administrative work that is, and you have to, like, release control a little bit and leverage that technology. But I mean, once you do, man, it's hard to go back. Like, can you imagine making a PowerPoint now by yourself?
No.
Like, I'm never again.
Never did in the first place. That like took too much time. So if the class wasn't already created, or if I couldn't just edit really quickly, it's not happening. But now it's like, let's talk about AI.
Yes.
Put it in a PowerPoint. How can I present this to agents? Sorry, I'm knocking over our beautiful tree here.
Yeah.
It poked me.
It's a real tree.
So is there anything you feel like right now in the market you wish would change?
Oh, gosh.
Like, we know it's hard. We know it's tough. We know, like, stick it out and keep moving forward.
I mean,
I feel like the worst is kind of, knock on wood, behind us.
Yeah, I do think, like, life has kind of moved on. Okay. And so people are moving. And I mean, it sounds so cheesy, but I think the right approach to all of it is mindset. Like, you have to have the mindset of growth, of moving forward, of, there's opportunity for everyone, not that scarcity mindset, and go out there and do your thing and be the best that you can be at it, and look for the people that, you connect with.
I agree with that.
That's, I've had clients that it's like, we're not probably the best fit for each other because my style just doesn't jive with what they're looking for. But that's one of the things I love about having a team is, like, I've got one guy on my team and he is so analytical and he will, like, spreadsheet to death. I'm like, this is the high level, this is the gut check, like, you ready to go? And he's like, oh, I will sit and talk for 3 hours, details and numbers. And, like, there are people who really, really, really love that style and want that and need that. And, like, he's for them. And I'm not upset by that. I'm happy that they have someone to connect with that aligns his skills with what they need to feel confident moving forward.
I think that's another good point. We talked about negotiation skills for 2026 and how that's going to put you above the rest. And out of that 70% that didn't do a single deal in 2025, but also adjusting to personalities.
Yeah.
Know your personality, but also know your client's personality or the client that you want. And then when you see that, adjust to it. If they need the Excel, if they need to know how the sausage was made. I don't. I just want the sausage in front of me. I don't need to know how it was made. But adjust and adapt to those personalities, and then you'll form that relationship even stronger.
Or be open up front and say like, hey, I may not be a fit for you, but like I know so-and-so on my team or that I work with, it would be exactly what you need, because you get credibility that way too. I mean, we just can't be all things to all people. And there's so much movement in our market that like you don't have to be all things to all people. You can leverage your team, your relationships for, you know, the benefit of everybody.
And you can get a referral fee.
Absolutely.
Refer it out and get 25%.
Don't lift a finger.
Don't lose the deal entirely.
Absolutely.
Send it off to the Excel guy.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, what are you seeing? What's happening in the title world?
Oh, you know, what isn't happening in the title world. Like we said, a lot of people are moving because of life-changing events.
Yes.
So we're seeing a lot of probate and heirships.
Okay.
We're seeing a lot of divorces.
Yes.
We're seeing a lot of curative files, which is fine.
So tell me more about curative.
So curative is anything that doesn't just have a payoff that you have to...
You got to work it.
You got to work the file a little bit. It takes time. It's not get the file in, ask for the payoff, get the survey and close. It's let's find all of these heirs.
Yes.
You know, y'all are going through a divorce. We need all of this stuff. So luckily we have a fantastic team in Pearland. We have 4 closers. And again, they fit every personality.
Isn't that awesome?
Coming in, if you have this, Excel, if you have that, like, let's just pair you with the right person and get the deal closed smoothly. But yeah.
So I was going to ask you, if we have a file that we just kind of like know is going to be a doozy, should we open that? I hear mixed opinions on that. Like, do we open it as soon as we get the listing agreement signed? Okay.
Yes.
No need to wait for a contract.
No, do not wait. So when you get the listing agreement, send it over. As long as your sellers are okay with us opening title early, we will. Some people won't, and that's okay. Sure. We just know once it's opened, that doesn't mean it just sits there. That means we have to get on it. We have to get the title commitment back within 24, 48 hours, and we have to start clearing it so that when there's a buyer,
it's ready to go.
It's ready to go.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So listing agreement.
What about if you need an attorney? Like, is that something you guys provide in-house, or like, what does that look like?
So we have in-house attorneys that, you know, doc prep and do certain things. We always like you to figure it out with an outside attorney before bringing it to us, because ours are in-house and they work for us.
Okay.
But we can do a lot of things once it's open. But we always say, hey, go speak to them, get it cleared up, and then send it to us.
Come on over.
Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome.
It's definitely cheaper to send it to us and let us work it.
Oh, absolutely.
Instead of going to an outside attorney.
At least like figure out what we need to resolve.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
We had one that we thought this one person was the owner and like got into the transaction, tried to resolve it with outside counsel, ended up going to title company. They're like, he's nowhere in this chain of custody.
Like, why are we even communicating with him?
Yeah, actually, you need to be talking to grandma. And I was like, oh, well, great.
Did he get mad?
We had already paid.
Oh, no.
It was fine.
It was fine.
It was fine.
Maybe he got reimbursed once it closed.
No, I mean, we paid him.
Oh, you paid him. Oh, my gosh.
Hey, you just...
Tell me about the survey situation.
Oh, my gosh. I have a survey of these sweet clients, and we went out, we looked at the land. I got the survey from the agent, and I was like, okay, like lot block looks right. Like it was older survey, so it was a little worn, but it looked good.
Everything it needed. It had the compass, it had the seal, it had the legal description, it had all the things.
Well, that's the thing. The legal description was a little worn.
Okay.
And it turns out,
you're like, magnifying glass.
That was the lot next to.
No.
Yes, where we're buying. And
so wait. Hold on.
I know.
Let me just make sure I might not be understanding this right. How did we even have that survey?
I don't know. The listing agent gave it to me.
So maybe they have had that the entire time thinking it was their land?
I think so.
No.
Like, I think he thought so too. Yeah. And then title was like, this is not
isn't adding
the legal
up.
Description. And I was like, huh.
So they don't have another survey of the appropriate.
No.
Okay, so what are y'all going to do now?
Well, we're going to go out and take a look and make sure it's actually like, so the measurements are very different. We thought we were buying a little over 8 acres. It's a
Okay.
little under 7.
Okay.
So we're going to go out and like look at it one more time and make sure it still fits the needs.
Okay.
And then I think we'll have to get a new survey, obviously. Well, it's a cash deal, so we don't have to.
But at this point,
But we probably want to know what we're buying.
you probably
want to know.
yeah.
And so, yeah, wild though, because we were supposed to close in a couple days, and title came back, not your title, came back and was like, oh wait, they've
I'm
had
telling
to file
you
3
though,
weeks.
I know, but surveys in their
They're
defense,
tricky.
surveys right now. I mean, I talked about the liens, I talked about probate and heirship. Surveys are getting us just.
So like, what is so hard about it? Because in my mind, I'm like, it either is or it isn't.
I know. I can't honestly sit here and tell you why, but I feel like the issues that are happening revolve around surveys.
I wonder if it's because like there's been so much development.
Maybe.
Because you could actually see the land that we were going to buy on this survey, but it was like off to the side. It was like because it bordered.
It's insane.
It was insane.
Okay, so I know I asked you what you would change about the real estate industry right now.
My magic wand.
But being as you are our new NARPM president,
thank you.
Why don't you give us some intel about what is changing in the industry?
I'll pause and just say I'm only the Houston chapter president.
Do not sell yourself short. That's still a huge accomplishment.
This is the National Association of Residential Property Managers. So one thing that I'm seeing a lot with both that and with our local associations for realtors, Texas and national, it's an election year. So there's lots of advocacy efforts right now. And one of those advocacy efforts that just is ongoing is, protecting buyers from, if we think back to the lawsuit that happened several years ago and the changes that came from that.
I can't believe you're saying several years ago.
I know.
That's insane.
I know. Okay. It feels like 5 minutes, but like my head has been spinning ever since because it's like change. Well, another change is coming.
Okay.
So they're, and I say they, the national, or really Texas realtors, this is a state change that's happening.
Okay.
We have had where sellers are needing to disclose the compensation or had the opportunity to disclose the compensation that they were willing to offer to buyer's agents up front.
Okay.
So it wasn't on the MLS, but what that looked like is, I would call Sally, the agent, and be like, hey, I'm going to show 123 Main Street. Is there buyer's agent commission? And she would say, yes, there is. It's whatever percent. And then we would kind of plan accordingly. I could do a worksheet for my clients and say, like, based on 123 Main Street, here's the taxes, here's the insurance, here's the commission that's being offered. So here's what your closing costs would look like. And that helped them kind of plan like, okay, this is the offer that I'm comfortable with, whatever. Now what's going to happen is the listing agreement is no longer, and this is coming in June, going to have the buyer's agent compensation is going to be completely removed. Gone forever.
Okay.
On the listing agreement. So what that means and kind of the script for sellers is, hey, historically, buyers have expectations that the compensation for their agent may be included or at least negotiated.
Okay.
And so you're not on the hook for anything. But let's kind of talk through different scenarios. And so what I'm going to do, and this is just my opinion, is I'm going to do some net sheets for my seller that shows, hey, if we offered 3%, like this is what your walkaway would probably look like if we offered 1%, just different scenarios.
What do you put it under on the net sheet now?
Yes, put it on the net sheet.
Seller's concessions?
I'm still going to, yes. So, well, I don't know if the net sheet that I use will change.
Okay.
TBD on that, but for sure on the contract it will. So it won't be on the contract. It'll just be a talking point and a seed planted when we start the listing negotiations that I'll kind of follow up when we actually get an offer.
Okay.
So when an offer comes in, now there's been the option to have it under paragraph 12 which is a seller concession, which think about like other seller concessions could be like if I want a new roof or if I'm giving a carpet allowance, all of that goes in that paragraph.
Okay.
Now you can actually put buyer's agent commission there too. And so some people were doing it that way. Other people were using this other form called a 2402 and alluding to it at the end of the paragraph, at the end of the contract that said, hey, we have this outside agreement between brokerages and we're agreeing to pay X percent, that latter way is going away completely.
Okay.
So now, it's going to be interesting. It's all negotiable. And so buyers can ask for whatever they want to ask for, and sellers can use that as a negotiation
When
tool.
sellers do seller's concession, do they have to outright put what the concessions are for?
No.
Do they have to put, or is it just $5,000
yes and no.
seller concessions, or is it roof $3,000 compensation $2,000?
So the way it is now is there is a certain spot for compensation, but the other concessions in that paragraph is just a blanket amount. And so in real life, what people use it for is it's going to go towards closing costs. And so they're not getting a check at closing for $5,000, but they're using that $5,000 to either buy down their rate or pay off the appraisal and all the other things that come up with buying a house.
Okay.
And so once that $5,000 is applied to the loan or, purchase price or whatever, then they've got, in theory, that extra cash in their pocket and they can do the carpet or do the roof repairs or whatever they need to do. The commission piece is actually explicit. And so and I think that that's intentional to protect agents so that, we don't have this like, hey,
seller's
pinky promise, like,
and then
you're going to get it. And then, exactly.
Okay, good.
And so
and this is just me from a title company standpoint, if you were doing your net sheet, what would you want it to say going forward, starting in June? Where would do you want it concessions? Like if we're going to take away compensation.
So I'll still do a line item for
You'll
commission.
do a line and
yes,
okay.
Absolutely. Because you want, again, full transparency. And so you want to understand like, this is the line item for this, commission that we're talking about. Because there's always other things that they can spend. And then you can still do another line item if we're getting in there and doing the listing and we're like, oh, we're going to have to give a carpet allowance.
Okay.
Like
then
we can put that in. But again, like the beauty of it is sellers aren't really committed to anything. Whereas now they're agreeing to that percentage in the listing agreement. Yes. It's really set in stone. And so then you can amend that, obviously. But this way you can look at an offer as a whole and say like, okay, yes, I'm willing to extend this. And I tell people it's like a balloon. You squeeze one area, it gets a little bit bigger here, but you've still got the money inside. And so just kind of figuring out how best to allocate it, that it's a win for everybody. Because at the end of the day, the buyer is responsible for paying that buyer's agent. And so buying a house is expensive. There's a lot of fees that come along with it. And so we want to make it, it's in everybody's interest if it's more affordable to get into the house, especially now with interest rates still being high, so that, you can sell things.
That's really good information to know. And she said that's coming in June. So be on the lookout, start figuring out how you're going to approach it and your conversations, but really good talking points.
Talk to your broker about scripting that out because, again, I know it's just another change. And so like change is hard and it feels like we've had so many changes, but if scripted correctly, it doesn't have to be a negative thing. It can really be a benefit to both parties.
Would that come up in your Legal 1 and Legal 2 classes that you're teaching?
Hey, way to plug that. You'll have to wait and see. Yes. That's the nice thing is that those legal classes are constantly being updated and like they're very fresh, they're very new. In the training we did in those legal classes, like this came up and was a very hot conversation because obviously all the instructors want to make sure we're teaching it correctly. So
please,
it's like,
please.
I'm confused. Like if this, then that, but what about if this? And we all have a million what if scenarios because we're out there living it. And so the attorneys who write it are like, well,
they
we'll
think
look
it's
into that
black and
we'll
white, and we're like, no, it's not.
Right.
We wish it was, but it's not.
How I wish. Yes.
Very good information.
But honestly, don't we love that it's not black and white? It makes our job so much more fun.
Absolutely. I like the balloon analogy that you use.
Squeeze it.
So good. Well, awesome. Good information to know. You guys have just enjoyed our first fireside chat, not our last.
Yes.
Thanks for being here with us. Remember, these are just our thoughts, opinions, suggestions. And we're just happy.
Don't represent
the
entities we work for.
Yep. So thank you guys. Again, I'm co-host Kayla Ewald.
And I'm Sarah Lerner. We'll see you next time.